Alright guys, so today is pretty exciting. Today we are checking out the brand new Sony WF-XB700s. So the XB in the name stands for extra bass. And I'm gonna go ahead and tell you right now, I am a bass head, so I was extremely excited to check these out. I'm actually a very big fan of Sony's extra bass lineup. I love the bass presence that they have, and I love the functionality that they have within Sony's app. But the Sony XB700s do not have compatibility with Sony's app. That's mind-blowing to me considering how most of their other newer products have that functionality, and it's one of the best apps out there. So that is definitely a con right off the bat. Now they do come in retailing at $129, and we're gonna check out some of the specs and what it is you get inside the box. Now the first thing I wanna point out is Sony is kind of taking the Apple approach here. It's really hard to find any information on these. They don't tell you what version of Bluetooth it's using. They don't tell you what codecs that it's playing. So I have no information when it comes to that. But I do know that it has an IPX4 rating. So if you're somebody that sweats heavily, or if you want to go out and it starts raining or they get splashed on, they will be fine. Just make sure that you do not submerge them into water. Now, as far as what you're getting inside the box, you're getting the usual small, medium, and large silicone ear tips. And I noticed that the ear tips that were on them right out of the box fit me fine, and I didn't have to go trying on the others. Now, as far as the charging cable, I'm happy to say that they've included a USB-C cable, but the battery life on these are kind of interesting to me because on the earbuds, you're getting 9 hours by themselves, and to me, that is very impressive. But with the charging case, you're only getting an additional 9 hours, so you're only getting one charge out of the case before you have to charge the case again, and I'm going to say that that's going to be pretty inconvenient for a lot of people. But these do have a fast charge feature where a 10-minute charge is going to get you 60 minutes worth of use. Now, I have seen other pairs of truly wireless earbuds get 2 to 3 hours worth of use out of a 10-minute charge, so this is definitely on the low end. Now, moving over to looking at the case, it is a fairly large case. I do like the way it's designed. At first, it kind of feels a little hollow, but it's definitely well built. It's one of the best hinges I've seen on a lid. It's not one of those that's going to just continue to close on you if you're trying to keep it open. But on the back, you have a USB-C input, and then your indicator light, which is just a single indicator light, is located under the lid. So that just kind of gives you a general idea of if you have one charge left or not. That's the only options you really have. Now, moving over to the earbuds, the first thing you're gonna notice is they are fairly large. Now, I will say, since this is a pair of extra bass, if it takes getting that battery life mixed with really good bass, it's definitely worth the trade-off. But the huge thing here is they are very comfortable. It's one of those that even though they may look a little big, it doesn't feel big in the ears, it doesn't feel weighted, and it's very nice to grip because of the textured look on the outside. Now, as far as the controls, these do use button controls. It's very interesting that they decided to put the button on the bottom of the earbud. Can't say that I've seen that on another pair, but it is very easy to use, and I'm happy to say that it controls everything. Even though it's a little odd that they decided to put the volume controls on the left earbud and then put all the other controls on the right. And another thing is for you guys that like to use your earbuds individually, I'm sad to say that the only one you can do that with is the left. The right will not work on its own, and I think that was an interesting decision as well. Now, as far as the microphones on here, I think they did a fairly good job with these, but you guys can be a judge by listening to a test here. All right, guys, so here is a mic test using the Sony XB700s. I will say that it does sound a little tinny. I would have liked to have seen these pick up a little bit more bass, but this is what it would sound like if you were to take a call. And so now here is a mic test with a crowd noise being played in the background, which you can hear here. And one thing I want to point out about these is when you're using these for phone calls, the mics are also kind of pulling in your surroundings so that you can hear a little bit around you. But this is what it would sound like if you were to take a call in public. So now let's get into the sound. Now I do have to point out again, these do not work with Sony's app, which would have been a huge plus here. Sony again has one of the best apps, one of the best EQ controls as far as changing the sound and the way that you want your earbuds to sound. So what you're getting is exactly what they want you to get right out of the box. But I'm happy to say that that sound is very impressive, especially if you are a bass head. This is easily the most bass that you're going to get in a pair of truly wireless earbuds. You can feel it in your chest. You can feel that rumble in your ears, which is very impressive, especially considering it's not in an ear cup surrounding your ear, but you still get that sensation. But luckily, the bass does not make the mids and the trebles suffer. You still have plenty of presence when it comes to mids. Male and female vocals stand out very well. They definitely feel a little bit more forward than the instruments behind it. The treble is doing an excellent job with details, but I will say the treble still has a warmer tone to it. And again, that kind of mixes well with these being bass heavy. I think the sound signature overall is very warm, but it is definitely punchy. Now, when it comes to the sound stage and the sound imaging, somehow Sony was able to make you feel like you're in a larger room. To me, that's impressive because a lot of pairs of earbuds and headphones, when they start to have that thick, punchy bass, it starts to feel a little more closed in. But somehow Sony has some air in the bass, so it adds that sense of depth, and again, just makes you feel like you're in a larger environment. Now, another huge plus is the instrument separation. Being able to tell where instruments and noises and different things are coming from are done very well in these. And so Sony overall, I don't know how they did it, was able to make a bass heavy earbud that still gives you a lot of space. Now, I do have a few cons with these. One, not having the ability to work within Sony's app is just mind-blowing to me. Two, I would have liked to have seen a little bit more battery life out of the case. And then the only other con that I have is not really a con, but I can see a lot of people having complaints with this, is the size of the earbud. It is fairly large, but I will take that any day to be able to get the battery life that I'm getting and to be able to get that bass impact. Again, it's completely worth it to me. But guys, that's my video on the brand new Sony WF-XB700s. If you are a fan of bass, this is the pair you want to check out. But guys, thank you so much for checking out this video. Thank you so much for checking out all the other videos. And as always, make sure to stay tuned for more.